Lawmaker representing Borno South Senatorial District, Ali Ndume, has urged President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency on the nation's security and economic sectors. Ndume made this call on Friday during an interview where he also criticized the president's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. Let the president not forget about everything and concentrate on three things, which are security, welfare of citizens, and the economy. His attention should go there as number one. Then he should create a state of emergency in those areas. While describing himself as a Democrat, Ndume said Tinubu's declaration of emergency rule in Rivers State was surprising. According to him, the president acted in a wrong move by that action on March 18, following the protracted political crisis in the state. Ndume, who described himself as a Democrat, also criticized Tinubu's move to declare the state of emergency. Well, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Barrister Ndamzi, on what you make of this statement from Ali Ndume.
Okay, firstly, I would say I agree with Ali Ndume that emergency should be declared on security, economy, and welfare of Nigerian citizens. That is very, very perfect. And that is exactly what Nigerians expect at this time, because we are in a dwindling economy. The economy is dwindling by minutes, not by the day. You buy something now for 100 naira, try it the next 2 days, it's adding. So the economy is dying. So Ali Ndume calling on Mr. President to declare emergency at this point, not state of emergency, but emergency on security. It's a very welcome call, because I and you know what the security challenges are in Nigeria. We know how the welfare of citizens are being treated. We don't even have human rights anymore. Our human right is stripped. The police is on the road abusing the rights of Nigerians. In fact, it has become an order of the day. So the government should look at the welfare of citizens. Welfare of citizens cannot be looked at if Nigerians cannot move freely on the road without being harassed by the police authorities on the road. So the government, the federal government, should see this as a call in the right direction. Ali Ndume shouldn't be tainted. Ali Ndume shouldn't be hounded. He had just spoken the mind of Nigerians. Then, on the part where, Ndume said the president took him on surprise in declaring emergency in Rivers State, that is his own opinion. Okay, as a Nigerian and as a highly respected senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he's entitled to his opinion. Okay, he has opined that the president shouldn't have done that. Okay, like I said before, a state of emergency not tied to any political party. NBA stands for justice, stands for human rights, stands for security, welfare, anything that you can call good governance. Okay, that is what NBA is championing. NBA is not saying Mr. President doesn't have the right or powers under Section 305, but that he overreached his powers by adding suspension of the governor and suspension of the elected officials. Okay. Because there are judicial authority even to that effect. Plateau cases there. And the constitutional provisions are just very open. So where did the president derive his powers? So in reconciling it with Ali Ndume's comment, Ndume said that the president took him by surprise. That is to say, in his view, the state of emergency ordinarily shouldn't have come taking place to Rivers State. Okay. But it is a discretionary powers only the president can exercise.
All right. Thank you so much on that, Barrister Ndamzi. I'd love to hear from you still on your thoughts on this, please, Mr. George.
Security, economy, and welfare should be top priorities of this government, because the responsibility of the government is to take care of the security and welfare of the citizens. That's their responsibility. So the security will even help the economy to grow, because when you have security, people's investment is secured. Yes. It will improve on economic growth. So there's not much emphasis on that. I think the government is prioritizing the wrong things. They should prioritize the security of Nigerians. Nigerians, a lot of them are living in abject poverty. When I mean abject poverty, many years ago, I used to think that what I'm seeing around me is poverty. It was when I traveled that I realized that the kind of poverty that Nigerians are experiencing and going through, what I thought was poverty, was not close to, statistically, it was not close to 90% of real poverty that is not even captured by NBS or by statisticians or by those who are collecting data. The poverty that is in this country is mind-blowing. It's not just that there's no food to eat. The people are living in dehumanizing conditions where they stay. If you go to Europe, if you travel to Europe, where those Europeans keep their animals, it's like a palace compared to where some human beings in Nigeria are living. I'm trying to tell you the real situation. So when you have a government that you look at this country, that I do tell people that Nigeria is a rich country with poor people and bad leadership. When you have a government that feel the pulses, that have empathy, and that is part of leadership, empathetic leadership, where you can feel the pains of your people. You are leading a people, and if the people are in pains and poverty, it is an indictment of your leadership. So why not prioritize them? Why not put them first? After all, Abraham Lincoln said that democracy is a government of the people, for the people. So what is for the people? We are tired of too much of politics. So what the distinguished senator said is just what, see, it doesn't matter whether you are there for 5 years or 10 years, whether you are there for 5 months or 1 month. What makes your leadership impactful is what people will remember you for.
Thank you on your thoughts, Mr. Judge. I also wanted to refer back to the conversation we had before this one about the overstay visa, the policies that the federal government has put in place against the expatriates, the fine, and what other reasons. You know, considering the statement that has been made by Senator Ndume, that the president should, you know, declare emergency on security, welfare, and economy. If you look at this, most of these expatriates that are actually coming in, really literally looking back and taking a second thought on because of whatever reasons, the insecurity situation in the country. Is it enough for me to want to be here? You know, I would have asked that question. Are they also secure in the country that you're giving them fine on overstay situation? We also have to look at that aspect. Thank you for so much on your thoughts. I'll quickly, before we continue or move into the next story, the issue of insecurity. He talks about. I think we had a conversation on. It should be Kaduna. No, not Kaduna. There was a conversation we had that you talked about the insecurity affecting the economy of the country. We know it's actually affecting the economy of the country. In what way, aside the fact that Ndume has come to make a statement, like you said, it should not be a thing that he should be dragged upon. He just made a statement which is speaking the minds of Nigerians. Do you think the president will want to look at this issue? In what way should it be handled? In a way that if you want to solve something, you do not just barge into it, you take process. It's a gradual thing that happens. The issue of insecurity has literally been there. It's been in the face of everyone, right from the time of the Chibok girls, the Borno state situation up till now. It's moving down into Plateau, Sokoto, and Benue, Kano, Kaduna, most of the northern states, including River State, is not exempted. What are the necessary measures? You think also that the president will want to take this suggestion from Ali Ndume?
Well, in my opinion, the president reserves the right to take the advice or not. But as the father of the nation, the #1 citizen of this country, he would be very proud if Nigeria becomes more prosperous. He will be very happy if Nigeria is thriving positively among Committee of Nations.
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you short a bit. For how long has the president be the president? He's actually going to celebrate his 2 years in office very soon. But for how long exactly has he been in office?
Yeah, the president has been in office, if I'm not mistaken, he will be celebrating 2 years in office by May 29.
Okay.
That is to say, he has been in office for a year and some 8 months thereabout.
Okay, and so, this is a period of time that he should have seen, you know, what are the ways, things that can be done in order to make a difference, like Mr. George has stated rightly. It's not just about being there for 5 years or whatever long period. Even though you're there for a month, something different should have been done. Well, you're also aware that the issue of insecurity has really escalated for this long period of time.
Yes.
Okay.
The issue of insecurity didn't begin as Mr. President assumed power.
I know. That's why I talked about the Borno situation that's been on since the time of Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes, insecurity, in my view, have built a house and stayed in Nigeria. So the leadership need to be tough to dismantle it. Like Obasanjo, you know, during the time of Yaradua, Obasanjo advised the carrot and stick approach.
Okay.
So I will also advise them to use the carrot and stick approach.
Okay.
Look, this is not time to pet terrorism in Nigeria because it is growing by the day. It is becoming a norm. It is becoming a standard in the north. I was privy to a clip sometime where, you know, journalists were interviewing children in the state of in the streets of Borno, and when they asked them, what would you want to become? You see some children even suggestive of the fact they want to be Boko Haram members. So that is to tell you how rotten this issue of insecurity has become in Nigeria. Some of the children who felt a good life have eluded them have no option anymore than to take to terrorism, take to armed robbery, take to kidnapping, take to rape and other social vices in the society. So, Mr. President, in my own opinion, should prioritize security. Security should be his number one policy to tackle. By now, Mr. President, he should have, you know, sat with the military chief, the security chiefs. If I were him, I would not tolerate anybody. I would not pamper anybody, irrespective of where you come from. Look, army chief, you are not giving me result. You fire him and get the person who will want to do the job. The police chief, you are not doing the job. Nigerians are crying. Look, we need to be honest with ourselves. The security agencies in Nigeria need to wake up. The DSS know and have the security intelligence about what is happening in Nigeria. So the question is, why are they not moving in harshly and curbing this menace once and for all? America said they don't negotiate with terrorists. But we hear here in Nigeria how, you know, politicians part with money when the bandits kidnap people, how they sham. We were even watching video clips of how bandits were sharing money in dollars. What is happening in Nigeria is alarming. The army, the police, the NIA, the DSS, the Air Force, they have the intelligence. They know what is happening. I believe the DSS know the sponsors of this menace. They should go after them, bring them to book so that Nigeria will be peaceful. They should stop hounding innocent civilians. They should stop harassing Nigerians on the road. A young man driving on a good vehicle now becomes a target. So does it mean young people shouldn't live well in Nigeria? I keep asking. I asked some police officers the other day. I saw them, you know, intimidating a young man riding on a Lexus IS. The boy showed them his driving license, his papers, all valid. And they insisted, how did he get the money to buy it? And what? You are asking an adult who has graduated from school, who has potentials, how he got money to buy a vehicle. I asked the police officer, why would you delve into this? You did not suspect him of a crime, like the police had said, when you suspect anyone of a crime, you could, invite and investigate.
Okay.
So, instead of looking at the insecurity concern, our security agencies are busy harassing innocent civilians on the road, all in the name of wanting to pilfer money from them. So, all these have really caused serious distractions
from the main
to
point.
policing Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is their duty to police Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is their duty to arrest offenders, and it is also our duty. Civilians can arrest, an individual can arrest and hand over to security agencies.
You arrest an armed person.
No, I wouldn't advise you to do that. But in our local societies, our communities, if you see anything going wrong,
you report.
In the past, in the community, when a member of the community is misbehaving, community have a way of catching him and handing over to the police.
Okay, thank you on that. Well, I also wanted to make a clear statement. In Sokoto State, at some point, I think the residents were actually given information to the military personnel. It got to a point that most of the terrorists, they attacked the Sokoto residents. In fact, they fined them for reporting to the police, and I know that up till now they're still paying fine to them, even to use their farms and what's of that situation, and nothing has been done in that instance. So I would not want to disagree with you. Maybe there's a different way that has also been sorted out on that issue. Thank you so much on this, gentlemen. Would have continued more because there's so much to discuss on this particular story, because security is actually one of the main situation in the country. First security, then the welfare and the economy, because when there is insecurity, the economy is affected, food is affected, life is affected, welfare is literally affected in the country. And the sad thing is it boils down to the common citizens, which are the ones that do not have the rights, the willpower to fight for themselves. So we hope that this suggestion that has been made by Ndume will be taken into consideration by the president, because this was actually directed to him. Thank you.